Send an invocation, please.
Lord, we praise you and thank you so much for this day and this time, Father. We thank you for the safety of the first responders that had to come last night. Lord, we thank you that no one was hurt and that it was just damage. Lord, we praise you and thank you in all ways. We ask that you give us your wisdom in the sermon as we do your will. Let us only speak your love and let it only come from our lips. We praise you in all things in your holy name, most of all for the sacrifice and the birth of your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Approval of the agenda. There are three items.
I have three things I need to ask y'all to add. First, as y'all know, there is a tie in the District 13 County Commission seat. There was a provisional ballot, but the person did not return with the proper, they didn't return at all. So that ballot will not be part of the count. So you have a tie. Under state statute, you can make a decision and basically make the tie vote. You could also ask the county election commission to hold a special election or add this to the next general election, which would be November. Or the next county commission could take the similar actions. I do want to remind you, just as a point, because of the way the commission districts were redone, this is a commission without an incumbent. It is, unlike the spot that is gone because of Mr. Taylor's death, there is still a District 1 commissioner that represents those citizens. In this particular case, this is a district without.
So it leaves a void.
It's
Open seat.
open seat, yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman.
And then two other things I have to add. One, there is an interchange grant that the county mayor will discuss with you. And then finally, I've had several of the county commissioners that are departing have asked what we're going to do with your email addresses. And what IT had recommended was that if this commission authorized it, they would leave them up for 30 days, 60 days, 15 days, whatever y'all decided, so that, like Commissioner Taylor could tell people, I'm no longer your county commissioner. Here's my personal email address, or here's who your new representatives are, or ignore them, or whatever it is they want to do, but not to just stop them at the end because people might want to.
Make the motion we add this.
Okay.
Second.
Is there any other? We'll go through these first. Motion is made and seconded to add these three things to the agenda. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Is there anything else we need to add to the agenda? Okay. Then is there a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion approved.
Motion to approve. Is there a second?
Yes, sir.
Taylor. All right. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
Make motion to approve the minutes.
Approval of the minutes by Commissioner Taylor. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Okay. All in favor of approving the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Nay? Okay. We're going to hold off on the recognition of the public for the judges. But does anybody else anybody else in the public wish to speak on any other matter that's on the agenda?
I would, Mr. Chairman. Like
Mr.
to speak about the naming of facilities. Hopefully you're gonna take my instructions at the last county commission meeting and talk.
Please give us your name for the record and address,
Kevin
please.
Baker, 424 AB Wade Road, Portland,
Thank you.
Tennessee, 37148. Instead of just having arbitrary, because somebody's a friend of other people, I'd like this committee to talk about the rules and the criteria so that future people can be evaluated against those rules. Any Hall of Fame has rules and people get measured against those criteria. Not some arbitrary, because somebody's a buddy of somebody's, do we name things? I'd like you to just consider that. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else wish to speak to an item on the agenda other than the judges? Okay. Seeing none, we will close public recognition. Report of the chair, I have no report. Mr. Mayor?
No report except for the interchange we're going to bring up later on.
Okay. New business, the general sessions judge replacement. Before we allow anybody to speak, I will accept a motion.
Make a motion we accept all the applicants anyone can be nominated from the floor, for there's no sense in trying to sort through it, because they can be nominated again next week, so put them all forward and let these people roll for tonight.
All 12,
Yes, ma'am.
all 12, okay.
I second that.
Okay, motion and a second. Now we'll have some discussion, and I will allow any recognition of the public who would like to speak to that at this time. Anybody who would like to speak to that motion, because that's what is on the floor right now.
It's really high.
No? Nobody wants to speak to that motion?
Will this not be going to an ad hoc committee or review process, or will it just be?
The motion is to send it straight to the commission. Okay? Which is, and while we're on that subject, this is typically what we do. We have done this before where we have sent it straight to the commission. Because under our rules, let's say we were to pick 3 and send them and not pick the other 9, the other 9 could all be, they could all be nominated from the floor.
Mr. Chairman, I think the last time that we had the new judge's position, it was an actual ad hoc.
There was, for that one, yes, there was.
So that I would hope that this commission would see that through the advice of administrative officers and courts, a standard within the county would be.
Okay, why don't you, if you want to speak to this, go ahead and stand up, I'm sorry. I should have had you do this before. Stand up and give your name and address, and then you can speak.
Darrell Rogers, 128 Old Fountainhead Cemetery Road in Portland. I would like to see that become a standard. I mean, not just arbitrarily picking which one we do an ad hoc committee for and which ones we don't. If this is going to be a position that we move forward with, obviously that's what the body seems to want to do. I think we need to have a standard ad hoc committee, just as we did the position prior to it.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Commissioner Good.
Yeah, the only one to say to that is reiterate what has been said, is this is the way we've always done it as it relates to county commissioners and judges in the past. Speaking personally, I was on the committee you were talking about last time, where we spent hours and hours and hours, and when we asked for the bar's vote and the committee's vote, they didn't vote, and then left it up to the committee to vote, county commission ad hoc committee at that time. So,
No, I believe we said everybody's name at that time, didn't we?
Yeah.
and again, by law, anyone can be nominated that night regardless if it's this list or
And
another list.
at a previous judgeship, everybody went to, I believe, for Mike Connor's seat, didn't everybody go to the floor? I don't think we had a committee on that one.
Mike Carter's we did.
Mike Cotter's, we did, okay. But they all go to the floor no matter what we do. This seat is, if we were to go a different route, in my opinion, it would prolong this process. And I think, in my opinion, we need to fill the seat as soon as possible. So that's why I will support Commissioner Taylor's notion. Does anybody else have a question or anybody else have any discussion on this?
Chairman,
Any more comments from, yes?
I just wanted to clarify, it was stated in our last July 18th meeting that, this was an urgent thing, that the dockets are piling up. Spoke with some judges in court, that's absolutely not true. These
I
guys-
heard it completely different, Chairman.
I heard it completely different, Chris.
Okay, just- okay,
Telling you,
okay.
so, spoke to Judge Hunter, dockets are not piling up, cases are being handled, there's not an urgency. Naturally, you want to fill a position, it's nothing that's got to be done in the next 30 days. My request was, I think the citizens, that it be deferred till September to the new commission is seated. But just want to clarify that I did speak with some judges, and there was no urgency in the docket. Stuff's
Yeah.
not just piling up and
Okay.
being neglected.
And I'd like
Thank you.
I'd like to
Commissioner Langford.
clarify, because I was misquoted by Mr. Mansfield to Mr. Hunter. I did not say that the dockets were piling up. I said, what I meant, I may have said, but what I meant is that we're gonna have 2 brand-new judges at the end of September, at the end of August. It would be great if we could have at least one to have some experience with Judge Hunter. I did not in any way apply that Judge Hunter was not doing his job or that the work was piling up. I think they've done an outstanding job. But if we have the opportunity to pass on experience and stay on top of caseloads and everything else they're building, then I think that's clear, and we should take the opportunity to do that.
Mr. Chairman, if I may.
Yes, sir.
respond. Just clarification, the quote from the chair was the dockets are sitting there, and the judges would like us to move as quickly as possible.
Mr. Chairman,
Okay,
can we?
thank you.
Yeah, I'll stand by that.
All
I said
right,
that.
let's,
Yeah.
okay, thank you.
Okay.
All right,
Thank you.
any other comments?
Shooting that from the-
Any other comments from the floor?
I'd like to make one.
Yes, sir.
We, if you put this in a procedural situation. You're gonna put a committee in a position to not forward one of the applicants to the commission. I guess if you, there's no need to have a committee if you're gonna just approve them all and send them anyway. So I wouldn't be comfortable forming a committee that might choose to not send one of the names on forward. So it seems to me like the fairest way to do it is put all of them before the commission and let the commission decide.
Thank you. One more offer, to anybody who wants to speak to this before I close public recognition? Okay, I'm gonna close public recognition on this subject. Anyone else on the committee wish to opine on this subject? Okay, so the motion is to put all 12 applicants to the commission for making a decision at the next commission meeting. Again, any other comments, questions? Okay, all in favor say aye. Aye. Oppose? Okay, so all these names will be submitted to the county commission for our next meeting. In addition, of course, as I said earlier, anyone who is not in this list of 12 attorneys is able to have their name submitted on the floor, but not to be nominated. So there is no closed nominations at this point. All right,
Chairman,
yes, sir.
Point of order, not a point of order, I apologize. Just, did we vote on that?
Yes, we did.
Okay. For those that have a life and came here for this, now it's going to be next Monday, so they don't.
15th at 7 p.m.
You're welcome to stay all night long. It's very exciting.
I might even go so far as to say you should stroll in at 7:30, you'd be okay.
Yeah.
Could we let the applicants that are there here introduce themselves?
Yeah.
That's fine. We
Yeah.
can do that.
Yes.
If you're an applicant, one of the applicants on our list, I guess, even if you're not on the list, if you'd like to introduce yourselves, we'll start over here in the first row.
I'm Russ Edwards, attorney in Hendersonville.
Okay. Next row.
Keybline McCormick.
Okay.
Eric Malden, one of your serious crimes prosecutors.
Okay.
Thomas Dean with the Sumner County District Attorney's Office currently.
Okay.
Tyler Templeton, I'm sure all of you see my social medias. Nice to meet y'all.
Okay.
Bill Whalen, ran the main election, 40 years of experience.
Next one.
My name's Lila Kathleen Mitchell. I have 30 years of experience. I've been an assistant DA. I've been an assistant public defender for 14 and a half years in Shelby County, and I've worked for the county teaching school.
Right, next. Anybody? Okay. Anybody else in the room? Okay, thank you very much.
I think Justin was.
Justin, you're not on the list, are you, Justin? For good reason. Yes, appreciate you all coming.
Unless you just want to stay.
Thank you.
Justin,
We're going to be much
All right, next item on the agenda is the Veteran Services Reports,
For docketing,
which is attached. It's about the 4th page in, just to send on to the commission. Letter C, naming facilities to honor county officials.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion.
Yes, sir.
that we defer this to the September meeting for the new commission.
There's been a motion to defer this to the September Legislative Committee meeting, Commission meeting. There's a motion and a second. Any discussion?
I'm going to say something about that.
Okay?
Because this will be my only opportunity probably to do that. I'm just going to say up front, I'm not a real big fan of naming things for people. I'm not a big fan of naming rooms for people. I'm good with naming bridges for fallen soldiers. I appreciate that, or whatever else. I know our Sumner County School Board, we've named people for years, and we finally had to put a rule in, I believe, that we no longer name buildings for anybody that's still alive. And so I just, to get my 2 cents in, I'm not a big favor of doing that at all, personally. So, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else on the commission wish to speak to the question?
I would accept.
Okay. No more discussion. All in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay? Okay, motion passes unanimously. D, Sumner County Clerk and Master's Bond.
Make the motion, we accept it.
There's a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a
Motion
second.
hasn't beaten.
This is a requirement that we do this annually, is that correct?
It's really the 3 years.
Every 3 years, I'm sorry.
Of course, he's on an off kilter because he came in a little bit after the judge.
Gotcha. Okay. So that's why his is not in the same
He's off kilter, yes, he's always been off.
schedule. He's, I'll let you say that, I won't.
Yeah.
All right, this is there a motion? Do we already have a
We already
motion?
did
Wait,
that.
I'm sorry, we already had a motion. Is there a second? We did that too. Okay. We ran a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. E, amending the general personnel policy regarding birthdays.
Y'all did this last month. It's where county employees get their birthday off, but if your birthday falls on a holiday or a weekend, you have to take the day within 3 days. For some strange reason, that got dropped off the list, and David asked that we add that back again.
So moved.
Okay. Is there a motion and a second? Any more discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. There's a no from Commissioner Sullivan. Is that correct? Okay.
Okay, then next would be the email timeout. I don't know what recommendation y'all have for that. It was just, like I said, something IT asked.
I talked to IT just a little while ago,
Okay.
earlier this afternoon, and they said they had no problem with doing that. The suggestion was that people who are leaving the commission put a reply that says, if you wish to contact me, I'm no longer on the commission. If you wish to contact me, here's my email. The big concern of talking to some commissioners is some of the bots, some of the junk we're getting. And a bot would not do that probably if you send that, if that's the reply. If it automatically forwards to somebody's personal email, then you're getting a lot of that junk.
Right, and when we talked about it last week, they were uncomfortable with that because something might get sent to a mailbox that no one checks that really needed to be seen. So the reply is probably the most appropriate thing to do. So I think what you could say is that the commissioners they'll turn them off after 15 days or turn them off after 10 days or whatever, but the commissioners that want a forwarding message put on theirs to get with IT.
Another suggestion that somebody gave me was that all of them get forwarded to a particular inbox.
That was another.
And that somebody be responsible for checking that inbox daily and forwarding emails on to somebody else. That seemed like too much work, too much hands-on for me. Yes, sir.
I make the motion that we extend the email for 15 days. We leave it up to IT to figure out the easiest way to forward it and call it a day.
Okay, motion and a second. Any more discussion?
Yeah, I'd like to fall off the face of the earth.
Is that an amendment?
Don't forward nothing to me, I'm done.
Is that an amendment, Mr. Henry?
That's right.
All right, we done stuck a stick in it and we're done, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Next one.
Okay, the next would be the tie in the District 13 County Commission race. What I would recommend is that you just forward this on to this commission Monday night, where y'all then decide, do you want to break the tie? Do you want to do nothing? Do you want to ask for?
Can we send a recommendation?
You can if you want to, that's up to y'all.
Okay, before we do anything, I have a question. Now, when this happened 12 years ago, it was a coin toss. My
That's
understanding is
because-
the state changed that law?
No,
Oh.
that was a primary. That was not the general.
That was a
election.
primary, okay,
Correct.
that's correct.
Different.
Different
So we
rules.
can have a discussion, so I'll make a motion.
Okay, please make a motion.
I
Commissioner
make a
Taylor.
motion that we,
Let's,
Go ahead, Paul.
Commissioner,
Paul.
Paul, go
I'm
ahead.
sorry, with one
No,
minute.
go ahead, Bob.
Go ahead.
You got it.
I'll make a motion, we send it to the county commission on Monday with a recommendation that we ask Lori's office to have a special election to let the people of that district decide.
I second that.
Okay.
Hey,
A motion,
Can I offer one comment? Like, instead of taking on the cost of a special election, we would just put it on the November general? That would be my.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what I mean.
Well, because she gave us three choices. One was a special call or a special election,
That
like
one.
Okay,
like a runoff. I would say the general
That's what I
election in
thought we were-
November.
that's
okay.
what I meant anyway.
So that we send this on to the county commission with a recommendation that go to a special election, coincide with the November general
It'll just be on
election.
the November general
It'll be on the November general election.
No, not special.
Okay, there's a motion, is there a second?
I think Danny's second.
Okay, second. Just before I ask for questions, what is the law with regards to a special election? If we were to call a special election, it's gotta be done in what, like 90 days or something, so it'd be almost coincide with.
It would.
It would be very
In
close to
fact-
the
In fact,
November.
I think because the election, everything's already in place for the general, we could probably do it faster than we could do a special
Right.
election.
Okay. Commissioner, I'm sorry, yes, you have any comment?
Mr. Chairman.
Make sure you, name and address, please.
Jamie Teaster, 1020 Sweet Oak Ridge, Hendersonville, Tennessee, 37075. I would like to, maybe if we're gonna discuss that general election, then why don't we just send the judges on too? Because that seemed like that's a problem.
You can't
So
have a
if we-
special election for judges.
Different law.
Different law.
Tennessee Constitution won't allow you to do it.
Okay, so I just think if there's a possibility to do that for the commission, then we should be able to do the same for that. There's not an option?
No.
You'd have to change the Constitution.
Just change the Constitution.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any comments from the commission? Yes, sir.
So if we pass this to forward this on to the commission for Monday night, now someone on the floor could decide to send this on and let the commission decide at a later date in September, or
There-
the commission could, I just think that this is the best way to move forward. If we're talking about those people in that district who this commissioner will be representing, I think we owe it to them to let them choose. Even though the voter turnout was terrible, I think they should be given the opportunity to nominate.
The voter turnout in November will be much larger.
Yeah, and that's gonna be their commissioner.
My preference would be all of our elections in November, but can't do that because of state law, so. But we can, the state, we can move this to the November election, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Any more discussion? All right, all in favor of sending this to the commission with recommendation that it be placed on the November ballot, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And opposed? Okay, and Commissioner Good, you said something about Ms. Ashley's office? Was there,
No.
you wanted them here or something? Okay, I'm
No, I
sorry.
mean, they'd be the ones who would have to do it.
Correct, I understand, I just thought somebody wanted them here for some reason. Okay, I apologize.
Have a motion, sir?
It's already passed.
Oh, no, for the next one.
Oh, yeah, the Interchange Act.
Yes, this is the interchange.
Oh, Grant, excuse me.
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman. At Old
You want a
Drakes
motion for this? one? Can we
Drakes
have
Peak
discussion?
Road and New Shackle Island. I'm just
Okay,
want to
yeah,
tell
go ahead and
you-
make a motion.
Yeah, make the motion so we have discussion. Paul will second it.
Okay,
If you
thank
want
you.
any details, I've got the money involved details. I was gonna give the budget if you want to hear all the details of the grant. It's basically 80-20. The city of Hendersonville have a commitment letter from Mary Clary that they're gonna match
It's
half
signed.
of the grant.
It's a signed letter.
And that is correct.
Not just a letter from them.
And so, we'll match 10%, they'll match 10%, and the state pays 80%.
Okay,
Any other questions? And this has been needed for a long time. This is traffic signalization at that interchange. There's a lot of traffic there. There's been multiple wrecks. We even had an ambulance that was hit during a first responder event because somebody was injured there. So it has been a situation, but it's quite an expensive project to put a traffic light in these days.
okay, any more discussion? Okay, all in favor of moving this on to the budget committee, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. That's all the new business we have. Commission recognition. Mr. Good, you have a motion?
Move it approved.
Okay,
Could I have a different motion?
okay. Well, he didn't have a second, so we'll move on. Let's go through these.
Could we take A, B, E, F, and G and put them in September? Next Monday's gonna be a long meeting between judges, ballots, and everything else. I just think if,
Which ones you want to put in there?
everything but C.
Well, the problem with that is some of them are going off to college.
I get
They won't be
that.
here in September.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I was specifically asked by the veterans to approve the American Legion Post 17 Patriots. And so I said, well, I'll make it happen, so I know it's gonna be a long evening.
That was my motion, it doesn't have to carry, I'm
Yeah.
just asking, I'm saying it's gonna be a
I'm
long.
just-
Okay, now he's got a motion. Is there a second to his motion?
Second. CD and E.
Okay.
Yes, sir, we're leaving C and D in right now, and I think Mr. Hinton had a suggestion on D.
Okay, so there's been a motion and a second on this. Is, Mr. Hinton, do you have a comment?
Is this gonna be a long reading session, or could you just drop something off on the desk?
No, sir, what we had planned to do was the new proclamation forms that we have and the medallions, and we have one on everybody's desk. And if somebody wasn't there, we would mail it to them. Like, I don't think Ms. Brawley will be able to attend the meeting. And we will mail it to them, and we'll just, it'll be short and sweet.
So the,
Short and sweet.
I thought they were
That's my
gonna break a
amendment.
bottle of champagne on Larry's head and christen him for retirement.
so you're talking about the departing city, county officials and commissioners, right?
Correct.
Let's refer back to A, B, E, F, and G.
E was in the motion.
CD and E.
Yeah.
C, D, and E were in the
Oh.
motion. A, B, F, and G.
A, B, F, and G, okay. Just point out, the proclamation for Constitution Week will be, Constitution Week will be before our September meeting. So that pretty much should
So we gotta
go,
do the Patriots and the Constitution this month.
that's correct.
Okay.
Now, the other, as I said, boys soccer team, both boys soccer teams and the fishing team will have people going off to college. So the question is, do we want to do it before they go off to college? Or do we want to do it in September and let their coaches get them the
I
recognitions?
think the vast majority of the college students already be gone. I mean, we've done this for AP scholars a lot in August, and most of them have already gone to college. So I think you're okay either way.
Okay,
I mean, we're probably gonna be mailing them to seniors anyway, so.
so your suggestion, your motion is that A, B,
And F.
F and G.
No, G's gotta go. 'cause
G's got to go because of the date. And F, A,
That's some close ones there, folks, be careful what you say.
that A, B, and F would be September, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And that C, D, E, and G be in August.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's his motion. Any more discussion? Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Is there one more motion?
No, we got,
No, you got the back.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at, oh, okay, I forgot about these, sorry, the zoning, yes, sorry. I'd looked at these earlier and forgotten about them. All right, zoning, A, rezoning Beach Commons PUD. Is there a motion?
I make a motion, it's a second reading.
Okay, is there
Second.
motion and a second? This is second reading, so we'll go on to the county commission.
We'll have both of these Monday night.
Okay. Any discussion before we continue with
Move to
this?
approve.
There's a motion to approve, all right. All in favor say aye. Aye. Oppose? Okay. And rezoning Brimstone Woods, County Line Subdivision, is there a motion?
So moved.
That was in agreement.
Oh, you were doing both of them? I'm sorry,
Well, they've gotta go. to
I
the commission
misunderstood.
anyway. We can't.
I misunderstood that you were grouping and approving, I apologize. So the motion then was to group and approve. Everybody still okay with it?
Mr. Hinton, you
All right.
got a minute, you got a motion?
We passed it then, sorry.
Adjourn?
Okay.
Feel free to take it.
I apologize, Paul, I didn't pick up that part of the motion.
You got it.